Alright, what if I told you there's a single organism that could significantly help to reduce agricultural waste, the byproducts of farming, help to solve the world hunger crisis, and also are used for bioremediation that can completely restore a given chemical spill site to full ecological health? Well, there is one. It's the oyster mushroom, Pleurotus ostriatus. I've been studying mycology as a hobby for about 10 years now, taking wild strains of mushrooms and growing them in a controlled environment. For the past 2 years, I've been studying oyster mushrooms specifically and solely. I'm going to describe to you quickly or briefly the characteristics of an oyster mushroom, so you may be able to recognize it and show you here. This is actually the fruiting body, or what we know of as the mushroom. This is Pleurotus ostriatus. This one was harvested from the veggie section at Publix. You've probably seen the oyster mushroom before. Like I just said, it can be bought at your local grocery store, or some of them. And it also grows in the woods. It's a shelf fungus that can range in color from white to dark gray. But it grows on rotting wood, usually standing dead wood, like oaks and hardwoods and things of that nature. They start out as a spore, or a microscopic seed, if you will. And when they start to, whenever they have the right humidity, the right nutrients, and the right temperature, they spawn into mycelium. Now this is going to be hard for you to see, and I'm going to hold it really close here. Hopefully you can see the filamentous nature of this mycelium, which is very comparable to a root mass of plants, and it does exactly the same thing. It takes moisture and nutrients from the substrate. Well, after that, once it completely colonizes the substrate, then it sends out a fruiting body, which is this guy here, and sends out more spores and completes the cycle. Oyster mushrooms are very delicious. They have been described to have an earthy or nutty flavor, and sometimes even sweet. They're also very nutritious. According to the Department of Crop Science at the University of Cape Coast in Ghana, they have anti-cancerous, anti-cholesterol, and anti-tumorous properties, and are useful against diabetes, ulcers, and lung disease. They also contain a good supply of B vitamins, protein, essential fatty acids, and also they're one of the only species of mushrooms that contain vitamin C, which is pretty interesting. The uses of the oyster mushroom don't end in the kitchen, however. Oyster mushrooms are being used worldwide to break down agricultural waste, which, like I said, are the byproducts of farming, which could be corn cobs, cottonseed hulls. Joseph Pope of Ghent University in Belgium noted in his paper Agricultural Waste as Substrates for Oyster Mushrooms. He noted 86 different agricultural wastes used worldwide to grow oyster mushrooms. They include banana leaves, coffee pulp, citrus peels, corn cobs, cottonseed hulls, and newspaper. Pope also asserts that by using 25% of the agro waste that is burned each year, which is terrible for the environment, by using 25% of that worldwide, we could produce 317 million metric tons of oyster mushrooms. That could put a significant dent in the world hunger issue. So what if I told you this miracle species can also help to restore sites left barren by chemical spills to full ecological health? Well, they can. Excuse me. Oyster mushroom mycelium produces extracellular enzymes and acids that, in the words of Paul Stamets, dismantle the long chains of hydrocarbon and carbon, converting wood into simpler forms on the path to decomposition. By circumstance, these same enzymes are superb at breaking apart hydrocarbons, the base structure common to oils, petroleum products, pesticides, PCBs, and many other pollutants. You can read more about this in the fall 1999 edition of Whole Earth Catalog, which you can find online pretty easily, and it will also be in my resources. The benefits of the oyster mushroom is it doesn't end with just taking the hydrocarbons out. Now, this desolate site where the spill was, after the oyster mushroom organism takes all the hydrocarbons out, what's left is the fruiting bodies, as I showed you earlier. Well, these fruiting bodies begin to rot, And this rod attracts insects and flies. Well, the flies and insects also attract birds to feed on them. Well, the birds have recently fed on seeds and things from plants, and their excrement deposits those seeds in a new environment that's ready to begin life again. So the oyster mushrooms are a keystone species that can bring about a complete ecological health. So in conclusion, this organism can break down agricultural waste, turning the energy into delicious food sources that can be used to help solve world hunger. They can also tear down the hydrocarbons from pollutants that are being spilled everywhere daily, and help to make these sites more ecologically sound and ecologically healthy. So, the work being done today to understand the noble mushroom and many other mushrooms with their own benefits is beginning to show great promise and should let us see a ray of sunlight and a ray of hope for a new tomorrow.